So this is not the video that was supposed to come out on the day that this video is likely being uploaded, but I don't have a choice in the matter, so away we go into custom characters. I will still talk about the balance of said characters, in my opinion, because obviously it's my opinion. I'm not going to try to treat most of what I'm saying as objective fact, as we are on World of Horror backstory, but we are on 3 Yogathag. So, as we get into Yogathag, World of Horror character exclusive custom characters once more, we start with Insomnia and a Hospital Pass, but generally, we can talk about strategy, but it's also hard to talk about strategy because it really depends on the backstory Old God mystery combinations as well, but at least we can talk about the current run. Second, Dexterity, Strength, Light, and maybe Knowledge. And for having the Hospital Pass specifically, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, because when you need it, boy can it add a lot of pain to your run. That being said, if we don't have it, so be it. There's some RNG needed in the run, like getting Mind Drain, which is an exceptionally good spell, but otherwise grabbing a good weapon, if I can please gosh dang get this rumor. I think I saw it. And we will grab our money and move out. But yeah, something completely different was supposed to come out, unfortunately, as we have Metamorphosis, Scissors, Paint. Yes, I still have the custom mysteries, by the way, and we do thankfully have Ward, so we're taking Kana, and we have some moderately good luck. But unfortunately, yeah, the last thing I'll say about it is I was supposed to come out with a very different video, and I did not, because things happened. So here you are, watching this one instead, which you can kind of treat as a placeholder, but hey. You know what? For the sake of prep attacking, what's our brace at right now? It is at 48, 165, 117. 117 plus paying, but let's find out, I guess. If we heal stamina, so be it. If not, well, we'll deal. And then we do have Ward, so police patrols at the hospital would be nice, although Scissors would not be a bad idea either. Or either. What are my other mysteries? Why did I just forget? Anywho, either way, I'm going to be saving resources, whether it's Doom or HP. Usually I set things to a max Doom level location, so in this case it's going to be Doom. And at least will give me something, while allowing me to grab handcuffs, of course. So I should have just taken the stamina damage. I don't know why I did this. Also, we have Yogathag, so this is going to be pain. Yeah, so yes, Yogathag is looking at the apartment's sadness. That being said, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Nice 10 roll on Charisma. Not that I have too much, and yes, we are on Harbinger, so overall, checks are going to get harder. Just a little bit, but every little bit does add up to a thing, which is why I still value 1 damage. Anywho, yeah, so I was going to say a thing, and I didn't want to say it. Well, the good thing I'm not using the heavy-duty flashlight. I'm also sad I'm not using the heavy-duty flashlight, because a light source would be nice, but I think we're just going to eat this in the face. Eat 4 stamina damage, get a concussion, and just move on with life. I think there's something better we could handcuff, which is why I have not used the handcuffs yet. Seaside, lose Kana, but it should be fine, as long as nothing really strange happens. And into the school we go. So two Doom from Yogathag, and I think that's a general event, so that's why I didn't get the extra Doom decrease again. General events normally don't adhere to location threat levels, from what I know, unless I'm wrong. I feel like I feel 91% sure I'm right. And yes, that is some arbitrary number, but we're waiting for these eels to crawl out of Kana's eye, so anywho. The energy drink, maybe if we get 7 dexterity or quick thinking, it'll really depend. And then time skip as well, but we just have to deal. And what do I want next? Let's just make sure. Metamorphosis, I completely forgot. I want to say there's Seaside, well, at least 2 Seaside, but obviously I'm looking between the school and the hospital, which we're at max threat level. We could do Scissors now. We could also do... Oh my goodness. We have technically 3 location mysteries, but you can rest in Ward, so it's a bit better. But I don't want to do Metamorphosis 4th or 5th, so... in the interest of not getting absolutely destroyed, let's do scissors, just in case we're on timeline A. Yeah, we have 4 reason, but that's, I'm gonna have to deal. We usually don't run into anything we can handcuff, and even if we could, the few, 1 or 2 encounters that we can handcuff, it would be better to just defeat them, because there are worse enemies to handcuff. Even Takushi-san is included in that. Thankfully, we're on timeline B, so actually, we can bow 5 times and just learn the ritual. Now, whether I survive to reason, it will depend, because I would like to use Mind Drain instead of forgetting Mind Drain. Mind Drain is, you get Mind Drain, and usually at base, you're gonna be doing 15 damage for nearly free. Obviously, it costs max reason, but hey. And I could cast it twice here. In the interest of healing reason, we'll cast it twice. And then we'll get out in 1 turn. I could probably have 1 turn that encounter, or dodge 1 turn, or dodge 2 turn, or brace 2 turn, but I needed the reason, as I just said. So, same thing here. We'll use it 1 more time. 10 max reason is usually my comfort zone. And then we'll get out. So, again, I could take a risk here, but I think I've talked about it during the stream, so maybe me not talking about it is a bit hypocritical is the word I want to use? Ironic? I don't know what I want to say, but I mean, I can talk about it at a very general level, even though it is kind of exposing things, so I'm deciding on whether or not I want to say what I don't feel like saying. It's not very negative or anything, it's just thoughts about the game and possible downsides that some players may not enjoy in the game. But yeah. So, anywho, let's move on for now. If this is all for 5 bows, that would be great. But it's 3 bows and 2 claps, so away we go. Why do I keep losing? Oh, Insomnia, that's why. Insomnia versus the Tireless, so theoretically you're losing less, unless you choose to rest in a mystery, but we'll decide that later. For all intents and purposes, I should heal reason, even though I'm about to take a bath, but in the interest of being able to brace prep attack with the Carpenter Hammer, we're taking strength. Yes, I'll say it over and over again, I am very biased towards the strength stat in this game. If you have success with dodges, you'd build dexterity. If you can get firearms to work a lot of the time for you, even though that might not seem like the most, not stable, but reliable strat, I guess is the closer word. If you find success with the fire action, like if every single fire action that you do works out, and you don't have to deal, or you are shooting bosses, or are only dealing with the last enemy of your mystery, I can see how firearms can be a bit better, on Harbinger anyway. Knowledge, same thing if Ritual Dagger, I think Ritual Dagger still procs in this version, but, can I one-shot? I think I can one-shot this guy, so I won't actually pick up the package. But, yeah, if Ritual Dagger procs and you use the Ritual Dagger and you love it, same thing, if you can get Stake Knife to work because you keep picking up, like, damage increases, or you, for whatever reason, you solely play on Ithotu, then sure. But, for me, it's strength, because I like to brace on odd damage. I don't believe as much in my RNG. RNG has shown me that I shouldn't be believing in it as much, so, I build strength. And then that, the people who would probably be in support of strength would just say there are a lot of good strength weapons, and even if there are only really 2 or 3 that are good and above, yeah, it's, you know, that's more than enough items that are, you know, on average great, including in that rank of whether items are good or not. On that scale is the category that is availability to attain. That was really big words. That was like purple prose, but basically how easy it is to get. Like the baseball bat, you have to defeat yes, you have to defeat an enemy. This is not an example. The Carpenter Hammer, though, you can go into a store and buy. The Monkey Wrench, when you unlock it, which most people playing on Harbinger would have normally unlocked a lot of things, Monkey Wrench included by then. I think Monkey Wrench is also easy to unlock anyway, so you have 2 readily available strength items, each, you know, catering to a different audience. We'll just talk the Carpenter Hammer, because Carpenter Hammer normally allows you to immediately prep attack. If you have less than 5 strength, obviously not, but It's also a relatively cheap item, and with random item statistics, both the Carpenter Hammer and the Monkey Wrench are usually okay items. Carpenter Hammer can become better, and the Monkey Wrench can become amazing, so there's that. And yes, while the Crowbar and the Shovel are not the best weapons, they're also strength weapons. And availability in terms of, if you want the Occult Dagger or the Steak Knife, you have to trade either the police station or the vending machines. Although I can see people trading in the vending machines for one of the other ones. On a non-Harbinger difficulty, I might grab the Compass. That results in a lot of experience gain. But on Harbinger, usually you're only focusing on a weapon. But if you have a strategy, then do what you want. I think I can one-turn this encounter, by the way. And then on top of Brace just being a good action for reducing RNG and being efficient in a lot of situations. Again, dodges too, but less so on Harbinger. But there are situations in which you do it. We also have First Aid, thankfully, but unfortunately, I'm going to grab Strength because that would allow me to, I think we can Brace, Prep, Attack. We are pretty close, if not able to. I'm sure 8 Strength, but let's just say 7 Strength. So 7 Strength, 21, 54, 94 for a Prep Attack. But with 7 Strength, the Brace is 106. Maybe we barely get it. What did I just say? Oh my goodness. So let me calculate braces first. I should be writing this down. I'm doing it all on the top of my head, or you just have to believe me when I say that. So 7 Strength, 49, right? 40. No, not 40. What am I saying? 56. I'm going crazy. So 56, or 7 times 8 is 56. 165 minus 56 is 109. 109 plus this thing, which would be at 7 Strength, would be a Prep Attack at 24, 21, 54, 54, 94, and yeah, you can't get Brace with... Wait, can you? Why am I going crazy? I'm going absolutely insane. What did I just say to myself? 165. Anyway, I'll do that later, but basically with 8 Strength, I know I can Brace, Prep, Attack. That's all we need to remember, and then we move forward. I'll try to calculate that in my head as I move into whatever Metamorphosis. Oops, I left this 4th. Well, time to Mind Drain, I guess. That is probably the best action we have. So, unless we die to Reason right here. Why am I going crazy? 56, 109. Yeah, 109. Yeah, I would need... 109 is already... I know wouldn't fit, because it would be 109 plus 94, I believe. And yeah, that doesn't fit in your time sequence. Although getting drenched here also hurts a lot, but hey, I would have liked to pass that, actually, because that would have allowed me to get a weapon and not lose Reason. I would normally choose the middle option, but as you see right here, we are missing quite a bit of Reason. But thankfully, Yasugi-san's being a bro and helping us out, so hey. Still though, we'll risk the Reason loss, because Doom is looking like it's climbing up. Or usually I like to have a safe padding of Doom. That's not always possible, so anywho. So what I wanted to say earlier, I might as well say it so I don't forget, but, ooh, wait, hold on. Drenched plus Frostbite, I mean, I know I can take care of it, but still. Fine. We can get rid of this, right? That can be not great, but we'll find out. But let me say it before I lose track. So, there are people, who believe that there's only really one right option in encounters. Now, obviously, if you've played World of Horror more than, or unlocked a good majority of the achievements, or played a lot of runs trying to play them to an optimal level, then you know that that's not usually the case. Although, if you're playing on non-Harbinger difficulties, as I said before, you can do anything you want. But, again... even though you can all counter-argue, oh, it's all RNG in the end. At the same time, you can either say, well, do I want to not spend RNG and do Prep Attack? Assume I could. Just assume I can right here. Or do you want to, risk 3 dodges and then go for damage here, and maybe you dodge 3 times and everything's great? Because optimally, the right answer would be to dodge every attack and get out without receiving any damage. But obviously, that is not the case. So therefore, there being a right sequence of actions to do in every encounter is not entirely correct, especially when you understand mystery scaling and the synergy or combinations of mysteries that you may enter. That being said, we have to actually fight this thing to some extent, so let's find out. So that's 4 damage when thrown. I probably just want to Mind Drain at least twice. Yeah, so we're going to Mind Drain twice. That's going to hurt my max reason, but I think we need to, no matter what. And unfortunately, we don't get a very, very good brace, because Drenched is doing a heck of a number on us. However, if we hit at least once, we're good for a Desperate Action. Or we're good for Desperate Struggle. We're good for Desperate. And then, yeah, we can get out. So, yeah. But, again, there are many different ways you could have fought this fight. Not all of them are ultimately optimal, but really you're looking at RNG. And as someone said in a previous stream, it's all about, you know, to paraphrase a bit, it's all about risk management in a way. That I've really paraphrased what the person was talking about. It's not really too accurate, but that can help explain World of Horror as we go into painting with 6 stamina and 7 reason. So that's not the greatest, but we have to deal with the events and mysteries that were handed. I mean, yes, we could reroll. I don't normally like to reroll, so that's another part of something. I've seen criticism go against World of Horror. While it's founded on something I believe is, you know, actually accurate in that the game has a lot of events that are not really connected into a whole. At the same time, if you immerse yourself, one of the counter-arguments is that you're supposed to be able to immerse yourself and bring all the events together. Just look at any of my streams. But at the same time, the counter-argument to that is, hey, the game should be the biggest part of immersing the player into the experience. But again, we can make a whole video about that to rewind back to what I was, you know, trying to say. But some criticism is founded in, you know, the game is it doesn't have like all the mysteries don't contribute to a cohesive story, which again, I see this more. I can treat World of Horror, if nothing else, more as a table RPG, where although yes, counter-arguing myself at least once, table RPGs, when you draw events or events from a deck of cards, sometimes it, you know, has to pertain to the overall arching story of said TRPG. But at the same time, otherwise, why are we going into dungeons and fighting dragons is what I'm basically saying, because that's pretty much you immerse yourself and you do things. But again, ultimately what I'm saying and what some criticism might be, most of them are opinions, but they do have facts in them. Like, again, oh, you just have to, it's based on RNG. Well, yeah, it's based on RNG. Otherwise, it can completely be based on player skill. For example, if each event were instead something that the player has to do, like click on the screen and do this and that, if you're looking for a point-and-click adventure, your definition might differ. Some people would argue it's still technically a point-and-click, but others might argue that point-and-click has to do with, you know, the gameplay elements and not just getting being a medium for the player to adventure through the game. Again, as a video game developer, I'm really interested in this kind of talk. So, yeah, I should actually increase dexterity. I think I have a dexterity check. If not, well, we've at least showcased the character. I know even though I didn't talk about the character a lot, you know, strength. But that's for me, though. For some others, you might usually want to do knowledge. Heck, if you want to go out of your way to keep playing ally attack, you might be going, oh, I want to play ally attack. The character doesn't have enough charisma, but with a lot of stats normally high, again, without very much a weak stat, I think that's a good balance to the character, you know, not having any heavy debuffs. Yes, Insomnia can be heavy debuff-ish, but if you get the Tireless bonus, things like Holes and Insomnia hurt a lot less, lo and behold. But Dexterity, Strength, do we have the Knowledge check? We don't. So we can drink this energy drink and be fine. Yeah, one very, very niche use. And items with niche uses, I can see, and I agree, that are normally lower tier, I guess, if we're using quote-unquote tier lists. Not quote-unquote, literally tier lists, but hey, again, also helped by this character having high stats, but or higher stats relative to most custom characters that I have looked at. I also forgot. I'm just gonna say it's the Drain Swimmer. It was something I wanted to say. It was something in Scissors, and I think Scissors was my second mystery because I took Kana first, obviously. But yeah, otherwise having a normally high stat, not stat spread, but your stats being normally high and not having really a weak stat. I would even argue, again, this character, I think, starts with like 6 as one of the lowest stats on a non-Harbinger difficulty. So that is actually a bit high, even if it's only a difference in 1 in some characters like the base characters, starting out with a stat of 5 as their quote-unquote weakest stat. But some people go to 4 and 3, and that's where... And some characters like Toshiaki and Ayaka do have stats at 3 and 4, but... those are really the outliers. And you might have noticed that some of these characters, as I get into 11, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I go this way when I'm counting, so I clockwise from top left to right, or yeah, top to left to right, and then down. So we're doing a Fatalist run. And for giggles, we'll do random item stats. But back to what I was saying. Hold on, let's see, 8, Zigtast, let's find out. So as we get into Zigtast, Fatalist character exclusive custom characters with random item stats once more. Yeah, so you notice that some of these characters I'll be doing for recordings have been repeated. That's because I just want to give them the appropriate time as opposed to a stream where I might just be going more freeform. But Dexterity, Charisma, Strength, and second Takushi-san. Maybe second mystery, but we'll see. But yeah, as opposed to, again, a character like this that has a stat at 5 on a non-Harbinger difficulty, which drops to 4 on Harbinger. That is more, I guess, what I would expect from if you're trying to play the averages. Otherwise, if you're going weaker, like 3, that's not so bad. But if you're starting at 3 and dropping to 2 on Harbinger, that's more not an outlier, but that's not average, I guess, in my opinion. So that's strength, right? So, whoop. One of the few stat spells I'll use, also because it's not temporary. That's a real increase, like the knowledge and I think perception one. I don't think there's a dexterity one, right? So let's put on our Megane and move on. That's something I talked about before too. If I move on to a tangent really quickly, is that when I speak Japanese, but I'm normally speaking English, so I say a Japanese word, I want to use a as we have botanist, I think that's botanist and painting? No, not bulletin. Question mark? Let's find out. Yeah, bulletin. Yeah, is with that I use an English accent, so I won't roll my R's and hit the T's, if that makes any sense. But when I'm speaking Japanese, oh my goodness gracious, can't even speak English, but I'll be more, when I speak English, I'm using basically an English, what's the word for it? I'm going crazy. Also, we're not using the wooden bat. I want to actually throw it, so we're gonna just prepare again. And monkey wrench time. But, yeah, that's how I speak. And if I sound, Western when saying Japanese words, it's because I choose to do that. Again, not everyone chooses to do that. Some people, again, out of what I think, and I think it's valid too, out of respect, say Japanese words with the Japanese accent or Japanese pronunciation. Sorry, that's more accurate. I'm going crazy, but yeah, with the Japanese pronunciation, because obviously it's a Japanese word, so therefore use the appropriate pronunciation. But at the same time, you can't just. I wouldn't try to dismiss. Although for me, I can see how people would go, well, obviously you know Japanese, so why aren't you using Japanese pronunciation? Again, it's yeah, sure, you have a point, but at the same time, for people who don't know Japanese and whatnot, at least give them an entryway into speaking Japanese is kind of how I'm leaning. At least it's one reason. Also, I'm going to set this to the forest because I'm pretty sure I also have botanist. So that's going to be at least 2 minimum forest investigations, but into botanist, it's going to be like 3 minimum. Although I've never been that. Have I ever gotten out in one turn in footage or botanist? Can't remember. I know I've gotten out in like 3, but anywho. Also, being on Zigtast, that's right, it's gonna hurt a lot, but this character will only die from strength through Zigtast, so that's great. And by that I mean 0 statting, but obviously having stats at 1 or 2 will hurt your events as well, but hey. So, we're gonna do this, and hope we hit enough. Because then, no, I'm just gonna play it safe and... No, can I? No, I can't. I don't want to throw the wooden bat either, so I guess we're gonna gamble again. So 65 into 65, basically, or near 33% into this. So, flies closer, but it's fine. We're out. 4 Doom for 12 experience. That's not the greatest thing. Obviously, well, as a very simple rule, you only want to take 1 turn's worth of damage, but obviously that depends, because if an enemy is doing 5 or 6 damage, you can't just... Well, I would usually advise, if I were to gauge my degree of comfort, you not to eat 5 or 6 in damage in 1 turn. Whatever that may be. And especially if it's all damage, obviously, but hey. Ugh. Yeah, Zektas, without an extra 10%, even though you can say it's only 10%, an extra 10% for accuracy from attack boost, because I lost 1 strength, does hurt me a bit. But if we just need to hit 2 out of 3 of these, normally, binomial distribution-wise, you'll hit at least 2 out of 3, or the chances of hitting 2 out of 3 is increased slightly. So if you're rolling on hitting 2 out of 3 attacks at 65%, it's normally like, what, 71, 72-ish%? But anywho. Let's not risk this. I really need to start remembering these non-ending A endings for, Bulletin, even though most of them end up hurting you. And a lot of them end up giving you the boss. Hey, also Gruesome Totem, nice. Max Reason, right? I'm not going crazy. Yeah, Max Reason. Sometimes I confuse Gruesome Totem's reason decrease with Hermit's, which is actual reason decrease. Gruesome Totem is only max. So, yeah, also we're gonna heal stamina, funny enough, because we have a soft drink. But let's do Botanist now before we get roads closed, and that's really the only... At least Fatalist, you have a way to fight through the Fatalist backstory, but... I would agree with the decision to only reveal, quote-unquote, 2 out of the 5 mysteries, and not any more. Not even 3 out of 5, so... Otherwise, what's the point of not knowing your mysteries, right? Until we get backstory-specific events, somehow. That being said, -2 all does not feel great, but I don't really have a choice. Thankfully, we'll still be able to prep attack into Monkey Wrench, even with the 1 strength, because the Monkey Wrench is so gosh dang good. Although, I think this is because of random item stats, right? Wait, what? Question mark? Anywho. We just need to hit at least 2 of these, and then we just 1 of these, sorry. I'm going crazy with my math. With my math? I gotta end this video soon. But anywho, yeah, forgot what I was talking about, but anywho, moving on. Zektas, though, would normally hurt a lot. Obviously hurts a lot of custom characters that start with, or that are given, I guess, 3 stats, and obviously below, but 3 stats is normally the danger line, because on Harbinger, then your stats are 2, and then you therefore die at 44% Doom, as opposed to 63% Doom is pushing it, in my opinion. Basically, if it takes 63% Doom for your character to 0 stat on Zektas at base, then yes. Even though, yes, Zektas does have events, that increase their stats. As you see right here, I've gotten to 40, nearish the 2nd level of Zektas, and I have not run into said event yet. So, therefore, I mean, I'm not saying that you have to completely cater to people with bad luck, but this is very likely to happen as we proceed to almost die to Reason. Thank goodness this character has a soft drink, but anywho, yeah, we'll move on. I didn't want to lose Reason when you do. Yeah, with the HP penalty, yeah, we would have died. I'm pretty sure. So, meanwhile, though, this is not any better. If I could roll this 77, so pretty much 50-50. Or near enough, as doesn't matter. Yeah, if we threw the wooden bat, we barely don't have enough, don't we? Let's try, because I think I get better odds anyway. Question mark. It's either this into this. No, I can't even. Well, that's a bit frustrating. Oh, mystery scaling. If I took Botanist first. Although, I might not have been this hurt, so that's kind of a weird argument to make. I could go for a dodge play, 50%, but effectively why I don't like dodge as much anyway and use it as a very, very last resort is because if I'm looking to dodge and deal damage, what would I be really getting out of that? Because because dodge is 50% unless it's not. Again, correct me if that ever gets, well, if that's not right at this point in time. Do I even get an attack here? Yeah, so 1, you have to have the dexterity, but 2, I'm already rolling 77% odds to hit, so why would I do this, which is 50% of 77%, when I can go for this and defeat the enemy as well without throwing the bat, but I threw the bat, so it's too late. But this is 77 into 77, you get what I mean? So I'd rather take 77% into 77% than 50% into 77%. But I kind of want to make use of the bat. I don't think I really get a choice, though. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I just threw the bat for no reason. I mean, I could throw the monkey wrench, but going weaponless for another 3 mysteries. I mean, I could if I die here, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, if this is the end of the video too, I don't really mind as much, but I would rather keep the monkey wrench because if I don't die here, I could just end up dying without a weapon. Anyway, the chances are very low. This is a situation where I would understand why you wouldn't want to throw the monkey wrench away and survive with, like, this, basically. Because this is guaranteed if I throw the monkey wrench. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And we can't throw the handcuffs for any damage. In case anyone was wondering. So yeah. Yeah, I think I just do this and just waste the bat. So, 1... No! I hate RNG!